For the next 10 seconds, I want you to think of some of the pros to tobacco use, if you can find any. If you're like most people, you probably didn't come up with much. Aside from tax revenue for the federal government and always having a lighter on hand, it's a short list. What about the cons though? Clothes stink, bad breath, yellow teeth, heart disease, lung cancer, mouth cancer, birth defects if you didn't read the warning label. The list can go on, and that's just the health issues. We must also take the ecosystem into account and the effect tobacco manufacturing has on it. According to World Health Organization, in an article published the 9th of March 2018 on WHO International, more than 7 million people die each year from tobacco use. Using that statistic, it could be determined that nearly 20,000 people die daily from tobacco use, and in the 10 seconds I asked you to think about a pro to tobacco use, 2 people died. By the end of this speech, almost 100 people will have passed. My name is Jesse Wellman. I started smoking when I was 16 and had been a smoker for nearly a decade before quitting more than 6 months ago. When I was quitting, I researched information like this to help myself stay on track with my journey of quitting. Today, I would like to convince you to look more negatively at tobacco use by talking to you about the negative effects tobacco use has on population health, the environment's health, and the negative effect tobacco use in the media plays on adults, young adults, and their wallets. There is no denying that cigarettes and other tobacco products are unhealthy for you. David W. Moore starts off an article titled 9 of 10 Americans View Smoking as Harmful, published on October 7, 1999 on newgallup.com. He says, virtually all Americans, 95%, think cigarette smoking is harmful, yet so many continue to use. To put just how unhealthy tobacco use is into perspective, take this comparison. According to Health United States 2016, a book published on May 2017 by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the top 3 leading causes of death for all persons are disease of the heart, cancer, and respiratory disease. It just so happens that tobacco use is the top contributor for all 3 of these diseases. Tobacco use is so unhealthy, it takes first place in the top 3 causes of death in America alone. Now let's talk about how tobacco negatively affects the environment. Looking negatively at tobacco products and being a greener, more environmentally friendly person go hand in hand. According to Tobacco and its Environmental Impact, an overview, a 2017 report by truth.org, from start to finish, the tobacco life cycle is an overwhelmingly polluting and damaging process. This includes its cultivation, manufacturing, logistics, and disposal. But its cultivation and manufacturing are where the most damage is caused. Tobacco cultivation is so destructive to the environment that it is mostly grown in third world countries where corporations have more freedom due to lack of government agencies such as the EPA and the rules they enforce. When tobacco is grown, it acts as a sponge, absorbing all nutrients and even hard metals such as arsenic from the land. After the tobacco is harvested, the land is left barren and unusable. To maximize production, instead of renewing the farming plot, new land is cleared and tilled, and the process repeats. The manufacturing process of tobacco for consumption calls for leaf to be cured in smokehouses, which burns copious amounts of trees for the dangerous product. This unchecked deforestation and the non-stop smokehouses used for the curing process of tobacco are what make its manufacturing so dangerous to the environment. When it comes down to one of the biggest reasons tobacco use is still prominent in American society, besides nicotine's addictive qualities, is the way tobacco use is portrayed in the media. In movies and shows, there will occasionally be scenes where either the antagonists, protagonists, or any extra characters will be seen smoking cigarettes or putting a pinch of tobacco in their lip. This kind of activity is used to make the scene feel more real. Instead of the actors just saying their lines, the character is now doing something they normally would be doing, smoking, using tobacco. The problem with this, though, is that young children and even adults see their favorite characters using these products, and that produces a seed that is the thought of smoking is planted into their minds. According to healthychildren.org, in a 2017 article titled Glamorizing Addiction, the Problem with Smoking in Movies, published by the American Academy of Pediatrics, children are impressionable and often imitate what they see. Smoking in movies accounts for 37% of all smoking initiation. If entertainment simply left out the act of tobacco use out of their movies and shows, even if it helps make the scene feel real, it would keep young adults from building the idea that tobacco use is cool or attractive. Lastly, and probably one of the strongest arguing points for looking more negatively at tobacco products is the fact that it is unnecessarily expensive to be addicted to tobacco. In today's American society, the younger generations are having trouble already paying for the necessities. Extra expenses like smoking are really just unneeded luxuries. According to vapingdaily.com, a 2018 article titled The Cost of Smoking, each year a person who smokes 1 pack per day will spend $2,000 on cigarettes alone. If you smoke 2 or 3 packs a year, you will lose $4,000 to $6,000 respectively. For someone who is comfortable with their expenses, they could lose the tobacco habit and use that extra $2 or $3 to pay for a vacation somewhere. It could be used to buy healthier groceries throughout the year. That extra $2,000 could easily be used to alleviate a friend's financial troubles or any other form of good in the world. What matters most is that it wasn't used to support tobacco corporations. In conclusion, I have expressed to you how unhealthy tobacco use is by explaining how tobacco use correlates directly with the top 3 causes of death in America. I have also expressed to you the negative effects the manufacturing of tobacco has on the environment. When it comes to children, I've shown you how tobacco use in movies and shows can influence the youth to initiate in the use of tobacco products. And finally, I explained how expensive a tobacco habit can be. According to smokefree.gov, in a 2018 article titled How to Support Your Quitter, smoking cigarettes isn't a bad habit. It's a serious and complicated addiction that makes quitting smoking one of the biggest challenges many smokers will ever face. Hopefully, you will choose now to look more negatively at tobacco use in your daily lives, and in turn choose to positively impact a tobacco user's life. Because as I stated in the beginning of this speech, in the 6 minutes I have spoken to you, 100 users will have passed. But it could take only 1 second to save a life.